All right, everyone, good afternoon. Welcome back. We'll now begin the NC State portion of our press conference for today. If we could begin with an opening statement from Coach Moore, please.
Well, first, congratulations to Longwood on a great season. And, man, they had some people that could score the ball. Some matchup problems with Smith and McMccann. And, of course, today, the other Smith stepped up big too. So they had a lot of weapons, and so they've had an awesome season. Congrats to them. Proud of our kids. We had streaks kind of, but we've been off a couple of weeks, so I think it's good to get back out there and be able to get a little momentum, a little confidence going, and so I thought we did that in stretches. And I know the first half, Raina, I think, was 6 for 6 from the field and did a great job helping us get off to a good start. And then the second half, Chiquilla had a bunch of big offensive rebounds and knocked down a couple of threes. So, but there were so many people that contributed, and that's what you need this time of year. You need a lot of depth, and I think we have that, and we have a lot of people that can step up on a given day. So 5 people in double figures, and two more just right outside of it. So it's exciting to see that this time of year.
Okay, at this time we'll open the floor up for questions for the student athletes. First, you're not allowed to videotape in the room. You can take still photographs. If you would like to ask a question for the student athletes, please raise your hand and wait until you have the microphone to ask your question. Let's start right up front here.
Raina, yesterday both Kayla and Kai said that this time of year you guys want to throw the first punch. You don't want to have to come from behind. You kind of got off to a good start. Were you looking to establish and try to get something going early, or was it just something that happened?
It was kind of just something that happened. I kind of just take my shots as they come. I try not to force anything, but if I'm open, I'm going to take it.
Other questions for the student athletes? Can we get to Jonas over there?
This is for either player. How big was it to see the the bench players come up and contribute in a big way in this first round game?
Chiquilla, could you answer that, please?
I think our team is really deep, and it's great to see our bench players, or I wouldn't even say that because anybody on our team could start, but it's great to see them come out, contribute, and just keep the dice rolling.
Can we go in front to Mitch here, please?
Raina, you guys had a stretch at the end of the second quarter where you went on a 19-2 run. That was after a media timeout, or after Longwood had kind of cut it to 4, I think. What kind of got into you guys? What was said during the timeout to kind of spark you?
We just want to take the lead and, try to stretch it, but I think we were just in our heads. We missed a lot of shots. We didn't get back, but we just tried to stretch the lead, honestly, and wanted to come out strong and just dominate the game. So.
Other questions for the student athletes? Let's go here and then we'll go there.
This is for either player. Now that y'all have taken care of business today, how bit of a relief is it to know that, regardless of whatever the outcome was in the earlier game, you've got a familiar face coming up on Monday?
Chiquilla, could you answer that, please?
Well, first, I definitely think, it was early in the season when we played Kansas State, so, things have changed, but it's good that we'll have, film on our game before to work on it.
Do you have questions?
It's for either player. You guys have played a lot of games in this building in front of big crowds, but you haven't had that opportunity to play an NCAA tournament game here. Just what was that experience like in that atmosphere today?
Raina, could you answer that, please?
It was good. I mean, I love playing here at Reynolds. I think we had a sold-out game today, so it was nice. It was fun. I mean, last year we didn't really get to play here, like you said, and it was COVID. So it's nice being here for the first round and the second round too.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Let's go back in front to Mitch, please.
For either one of you, today was your 30th win. That's a program record. Did you guys know that? What does that mean? Is that kind of another box checked on the season?
Chiquilla, I think it's your turn.
Well, I didn't know that. But it's great, we come out every day playing hard and, we like to. I guess we're making history, so we just want to keep doing that and keep playing our game.
Any other questions? Okay, let's go to Gene over there.
Yeah, this is for Raina. Can you remember the last time Coach sat down on the bench? And when he sat down with you, what was he telling you?
Honestly, no, I can't remember a time when he sat down, but he was just talking about how they take charges and we should know better than to get a charge called on us. But he was just making fun of us, telling us we need to listen to him.
They don't trust me.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Once, twice? Oh, wait, in the back, Lindsay. Raise them high if you're in the back, please.
I don't want to spoil anything in case you haven't brought this out yet, but Coach said yesterday that there was a motivational tactic he was going to use. Have you brought that out yet, Coach?
Yeah.
The step?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we've been using
used
it.
it a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. So what did you think about the step and that visual?
Jakia, could you comment on that, please?
I actually love it. I'm glad that the step is there because sometimes I find myself jumping forward. So just seeing that step there, just know that we got to take it one game at a time and not rush anything.
Raina, could you comment on that?
No, yeah, I agree with Kia. I mean, I like the step too. It just allows us to focus on that game and not look ahead. But yeah, I like the step.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, ladies, you're excused. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You had 5 offensive rebounds in the second half. See what you can do when you want to. Yeah.
All right, at this time, we'll go ahead and open it up for Coach Moore, and let's just start with Jonas over there.
Coach, I asked the players obviously about the bench with 46 bench points today, and it wasn't just Diamond and Jada and Camille. You got some players who've never played on this stage before. Can you just comment on getting them that experience in this first round and the way they contributed today?
Yeah, again, we got some talented young players. It's been tough because the COVID thing changed everything. You got Raina, KJ, Kai. They would not even be here if it wasn't for that extra year, and those freshmen would really be playing a bigger role. But it's good to get them any experience we can. And again, I'm excited about them. And but then, as you mentioned, you got Diamond Johnson, Jada Boyd, Camille Hobby came in, and did a great job as well. So I do think that's a difference for us this year. I think, we got talent and we got experience, but we also have that depth, and we got a lot of people that on a given day can come in and give us a big lift.
Other questions for Coach Moore? Can we go over here, please?
Wes, with a gutsy team like Longwood, the way they played Thursday and coming in, how much can you appreciate as a coach the challenge that they presented early to really get your team, to kind of see it in reality and get going?
I've been doing this a long time, and you see that. Obviously, we're the higher-seeded team. We're supposed to win, whatever. So you come out and you get off to a great start. I think we were up 15-5, for instance. And then, I think the mentality is, oh, yeah, we got this. We knew it was going to be this way. And then all of a sudden, they get a couple offensive rebounds. They hit a couple of threes. And all of a sudden, you got a 4-point game. And that's what we talked about there. Second half, we wanted to come out. And then at that first media timeout, we had done a great job. And I reminded them, this is kind of where we were to start the game. Let's don't let up. Let's don't give them an opportunity to get back in this thing. So, I agree. They're a scrappy team. They got some kids out there that are really talented and can score the ball. So, you're glad to get the win and move on. And, we know a long path ahead of us, but we're focused on one step at a time. So, hopefully we can continue to do that.
Let's go back up front right here.
Akila had 31 the other night. What did you guys do defensively on her to 4 for 14?
Yeah, we just you debate there. What do you do? Do you put Elise on her, or do you put our 4-player on her, even though she posts up a lot? And we prepared a few different ways, but really the main thing is we just told Jada Boyd, try to keep it out of her hands, and so get on top of her and deny down the lane and that sort of thing. And then when she does get it, let's make sure help's ready to dig on it a little bit. If she puts it on the floor, usually she puts it on the floor, tries to go around you. So focused on trying to get a lot of help in the gaps and stuff on her as well. But great player, she had, I think, 8 offensive rebounds the other night, so our kids did a pretty good job of keeping her off the glass. That always helps too, because usually offensive rebound leads to points one way or another.
Let's go back front to Mitch.
Yeah, Coach. Either way, if you won this game, it was going to be a rematch, for Monday's game.
How about that?
Those games were kind of a long time
They
ago.
were.
November, December. Can you take anything away from those, or is this just a totally new scout?
Well, yeah, you can always take stuff away, and we had all week, so we've prepared for all the teams pretty much. So we put obviously a lot of clips together of their more recent games, and then we've also clipped our game with them, and yeah, we could take a lot from that. And it's a tough matchup down there on the block. She scored 61 against Oklahoma. That's scary. And then if they're hitting threes around her, it's really tough. So, same thing. We'll try to prepare a few different ways in case she's, just going off on us one way. Then hopefully we can give them a different look. But she's a great player, I tell you, and going to be a big challenge for us. They got some they're kind of young on the perimeter, but they got a lot of kids that can really shoot the three. So that's what worries you is when they got that inside-out combination. That's how we try to be. That's the way we want to be. So they're built similar to us, and she's a tough matchup.
Do we have a question in the back? Okay, if you're in the back, please raise your hand high so I can see it. Thank you.
Okay, Coach. Diamond Johnson and Jada Boyd off the bench, 12 points each. And Diamond scored 8 of her 12 in the second quarter. Same quarter, you guys went on a 23-6 run to beat them. Can you just speak about how both of them have meant to you, how much both of them have meant to you off the bench this season?
Yeah, Jada Boyd. I just think the last month or so she's been playing unbelievable. Really taking her game to another level, playing a lot harder, competing a lot better. And it's just, she's fun to watch. I mean, you see her sky in there and get an offensive rebound, make a play on defense. She's special. And then with Diamond, same thing. We're blessed to have both those kids and them being willing to accept a role and being unselfish and just, again, loving being on this team and their teammates and, being unselfish and selfless. We're very blessed. So, yeah, those are 2 players that when you bring them in, you can really take off and explode. And I've said before, it's not a spark they give us; it's a bonfire. And so again, that's the difference this year. Last year we lost KJ in the first game of the tournament, and we weren't really prepared for that. This year, we got some other people that if somebody gets in foul trouble or having an off day, somebody else can pick up the slack and help us keep going.
Any other questions for Coach Moore? All right, Coach, thank
All
you
right,
very
thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it. Congratulations. We'd like to remind you that tomorrow at 1:25, that's when NC State will be available again tomorrow. Longwood should be in here momentarily. They're bringing 2 more, so there should be 2 more, and yes, those 2. If you could put those 2 up, that would be fantastic. Thank you. Hey, Annabelle, excuse me. I'm guessing.
or yeah?
Where's my list?
That was a fun game to watch.
I mean, you take away the second quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
So when this starts, we're probably gonna have to ask you
Okay.
again. It's just, we have no riser.
If I said at the NC, I'll be okay.
All right, at this time, we'll begin the Longwood press conference with an opening statement from Coach Tillett.
Yeah, I'd just like to start with, our women, these three, and all of the women in the locker room should be incredibly proud of their, season, the historical nature of all of their accomplishments, and their performance today. Obviously, NC State is a 1 seed for good reason, high level of talent, and really well coached. And I thought our women just fought over and over and over again. That's the number 2 scoring defense in the ACC, and our women were able to, in the second half, really stay determined and put up some really good numbers. I want to talk about these three real quick. Day-Day, just an incredible point guard, incredible mind for the game, someone that should be coaching a Power 5 team someday in her future. We joke on the team, about there's the playbook that we develop as a staff, and then there's Day-Day's playbook that's a separate playbook that has a lot of secret calls in it. That is why our team has been so good offensively over the course of the 3 years she's been with us. And then just a special thing she did this year when we had a freshman point guard coming in, Ken Calhoun, who you guys got to see play. And, most players, most people get a little bit sensitive about somebody else coming in that's also really, really talented. And just to watch Day-Day's development of the relationship with her and making sure that our program is going to be in good hands for years to come just speaks to her unselfishness and just an incredible, incredible point guard. Akila, just her growth over these 4 years. We've talked about it a bunch over the past couple of days, but just where she came from as a freshman, now to a senior, and really to be on a national stage in terms of her talent and just the commitment she's made to our team. There were times when she was hesitant to speak in a group with us, and look at her now in a press conference, ready to answer questions after a tough loss. So just incredible contributions to our program. And then Kyla, one of the fiercest women, one of the fiercest competitors I've ever met. So glad that I get more time with her. And these three have just forged a bond amongst themselves and then led our team every step of the way this year through some challenges as well. So just really excited for more opportunities with them on the court and off. And just a team of really, really incredible women. And just the last kind of storyline is, we had to have 2 starters from last year not be starters this year. And that's not easy to ask 2 women who were starters all year last year to not be starters this year. So I thought Ann and Adriana took those roles and allowed Bree and Ken to step into those roles and allowed our team to achieve at really, really high heights, even though that's an unselfish act that you have to make. So just really, really excited for our program and the direction we're headed.
All right, at this time, we'll open the floor up for questions for the student athletes. Start with Mitch, please.
Yeah, Mitch Northam from the AP. For any of the players, in the third quarter, you matched them in scoring, 26-26. That's a 3-time ACC championship team. What got into you guys in the third quarter? What worked so well?
Akila, could you start, please?
I think it was just our mindset coming out of halftime. We just wanted to be aggressive. We know we're a good offensive team, so we just put that together after a good first half.
Tredasia, is there anything you could add to that?
I think. Oh wait. I think just being true competitors, like you're just not gonna lay down and just take punch after punch. You're gonna punch back. And basketball is a game of runs, so we knew that second half we're gonna go on a run eventually, and that's when the time came and we matched scoring with them.
Are there other questions for the student athletes? Let's go to Lindsay and then we'll get you.
Kyla, I believe you became the top scorer in program history in today's game. What does that mean to you? And you got a whole other year, so.
Yeah, I mean it means a lot. Woo! It means a lot to make that accomplishment and to do it with these women. It's pretty cool, and can't wait to break the Big South ones.
All right, let's go here in the corner.
To any of the players, at one point in the first quarter, coming into the second, you were even with them on rebounds, and that was making a difference. And you could see the energy that y'all were putting out. Where did that change? What did they start to do that made it a little bit tougher?
Akila, could you comment on that, please?
I thought maybe, I don't know, they were more aggressive than we were.
Any other questions?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
I think what made the difference was we were trying to rebound in certain areas instead of finding a body and putting a body and boxing them out and just trying to get the rebound instead of just being in the area. So, yeah.
Let's go back to Lindsay.
Tredasia, I've had a chance to ask Kyla and Akila, but I know Coach really does a lot of teaching you about the history of the game and about the system. So what have you learned about kind of women's sports as a whole that you're going to take from Coach and from your experience here in March Madness?
Just being empowered. Like, I wasn't talking in front of people before I got here. Like, I was just like basically like Akila, and just coming out my shell and just being empowered and saying how I feel and standing on on how I feel too. So, yeah.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, ladies, you're excused. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome all weekend.
All right. At this time, we'll open up the floor for questions for Coach Tillett. Does anyone have a question for Coach Tillett? Let's go to Mitch, and then we'll get Lindsay.
Yeah, Coach, I asked them about the third quarter, too. What was kind of the message at halftime, and I guess how did you kind of just get them, I guess, re-motivated after the second quarter was a bit of a struggle?
Mm-hmm. We really feel like that run they went on in the second quarter, obviously credit to them. We turned it over, and we weren't turning it over prior to that. We had one turnover, I think 4:38 in the second quarter, and then we turned it over 4 times, and they got fuel, they got momentum that, you don't want to give a team like that type of momentum. And we weren't hitting shots, which is not like us either, credit to their D. So we felt like just kind of get back to being ourselves. We knew we had to hit big shots to stay even with them in parts of the game or long periods of the game. So I think it was just, do what we do well, try to find some ways to get stopped. We were trying to say rebound for your life today. That's what we were trying to do. Every rebound mattered that much in an opponent in a game matchup like this. But yeah, I think that's that's who they are, this group. I mean, that's who they've been all year. I think I shared a little bit, but we had these 2 conference losses in a row, and a lot of teams can go one direction with that. And this team just forged and said, no, we're powering through. We're still going to win the regular season. We're still going to win the conference championship. We'd never done those things before, so they're speaking it into existence before it's ever happened. So I think they had that same mentality at halftime.
Lindsay, do you have questions?
I'm going to ask this carefully because I do not usually ask coaches about what they're wearing, particularly female coaches.
Yeah.
But you look wonderful, and I want to know if there's any significance behind the all-white suit today.
Yeah, great question. So we have a couple of fashionistas on our team, some women that are really, really well dressed, which my favorite advice that they're giving me before the game, this is my daughter who's on the team redshirting, and then Milou, one of our seniors, says, make sure you do your makeup before you put your suit on, because they're coaching me throughout, you know. And I'm thinking, I'm not thinking about my makeup or my suit. I'm thinking about, are we going to rebound for our lives, and are we going to hit big shots tonight? But I think, you know, I reached out to a friend. I've mentioned her before. Tiffany Sarden's the head coach at Chicago State. She sent me a couple looks. I'm not really that talented with fashion, so I have to lean on, you know, colleagues, teammates. So anyway, she sent me a couple looks. We put it together, and off we go. We did get a little challenge from home about I needed to have good shoes, so tried to match that. Thank you.
Okay, we're here on the corner now.
With the talent that these 3 and your rest of the team, the attitude, the mindset, obviously they lead a lot of it, but what are you all doing as a coaching staff for a program like yours to do that? So you're going to have other players get interested because they see that. Yeah. You know, what have you learned through your experience, not only throughout your career, but with Longwood, a program like this, to get a team that didn't look like that they were going to give up for any reason at all?
Yeah, great question. You know, I think there are just so many parts that make something like this work. Like, first of all, we've got an incredible staff, and we've got each staff member has to take a leadership role. If we're going to ask these women to go take leadership roles in their lives and be empowered, then we also have to empower our staff. So, for example, Jessica on our staff does something called Ultimate Competitor. So yesterday they're doing head, shoulders, knees, and toes and grabbing a water bottle. But all these things add up over time, right? So that's one thing, Ultimate Competitor. Kalia, who played at Duke, is on our staff, and she's been in charge of bringing in powerful women. We just had a powerful woman in our locker room after the game, Ari Chambers, who's huge in the sport of women's basketball, huge WNBA supporter. So we bring in these powerful women. So that's another element that helps, you know. Ryan on our staff is you know, a loving, caring person that can challenge you without ever making you feel bad about it. So I think that's just all these elements added up together. And then this year we did bring in a sports psychologist, and we had donors that funded that for us. And that included executive coaching for me and the staff, and then our women could have individual and group sessions. And that's why you've seen them do mindfulness. I think that's why you see them stay present in each moment and, you know, be able to put on a second half performance like that despite the fact that we were down. So it takes a lot of people to make something like this happen.
Hey, Justin Poe from Longwood. Could you just summarize kind of what you told the team after? I mean, going from some of those people were with you 3-27 3 years ago. Now you're playing the NCAA tournament. You play the ACC champions pretty even for 3 out of 4 quarters on national TV. Could you just kind of take us through how you tried to summarize that moment with them?
Yeah. As I shared with some of you guys, I'm from a coaching family, so I've kind of stolen bits and pieces over the years. And my dad always had the last game after you kind of do your summary, you go to each senior, and everyone in the program talks to that senior and that you know is leaving. Now, it's getting harder and harder because of COVID years. Who's leaving? Who's staying? What are we doing? But we knew day, obviously, this is it. We've exhausted all eligibility. So we did that. We also did our normal routines. I think it's really important to do your routines. So we set goals every game. We went through all those goals. We talked about the progress. You know, Justin and I probably should have talked more about the 4-year progress. I was really, you know, kind of focused on today and this season, but there will be time for that. We were really excited about scoring on them in the second half because we do think that's something that we can do, and we felt like we pushed them more than they expected, and that's something we wanted as well. So then it just all becomes about Day and making sure we're saying, you know, proper goodbyes and supporting her in that moment because it's the last time she's going to put on the jersey for us.
Any other questions? Can we get Mitch over here, please?
Coach, I'm just kind of curious. There's a lot of coaches who have been in your position before where they build up a Power 5 or a group of 5 program and, make some history at a mid-major, and then all of a sudden Power 5 teams start looking at them. Are you interested in hearing those calls, or are you committed to kind of making something long-lasting here at Longwood?
Yeah, great question. I think, and I've shared this with our women, shared this with, Michelle, our leadership. I think you always have a responsibility to take those calls, especially as women. I think we have to take those calls. Like, I've been poured into by other women. I've been taught how to negotiate. I would have no experience negotiating. My parents are teachers. My dad always says, you're out of our realm with this stuff. We can't really help you. So I think, for women to, approach things the way that men sometimes or have been taught to or had the opportunities to do that maybe we haven't. So I think you take those calls. At this point in time, I'm really happy with what we're building and what we're trying to do. And I'll answer my phone when calls come. And I'm also really committed to what we're doing here.
Second row over there.
I just wanted your thoughts on NC State, ma'am, how good of a team this is. What do you see in them in terms of going, in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I think they're really dangerous for a bunch of reasons. One, the fact that they can defend for long periods of time. It did successfully in a really, really good league all conference season. I think that's, a starting point. And then they're so balanced offensively. We were able to get some people off rhythm, and then, here comes another teammate ready. And that's what we tried to do in our league. They're doing it at a different level right now than us. So I think they can make a deep run. Excited to watch them, and it'll be good for us if they make a deep run. We'll feel even better about, how we played here today. But excited about them. Very well coached. Very well coached. Yeah.
Any other questions? All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for covering our women.
A recording of this press conference will be available in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly.